Are there any mamas who have maybe felt like their kitchen is not bringing them the peace and purpose that they are longing for? Maybe it feels rushed, it feels like another to-do list that you have to check off, it feels like a duty that you're not enjoying. If you've ever been in that season, or maybe you're in that season now, where you feel like you're just every day just scrambling to get food on the table, you're exhausted with like trying to find meals to make that your family enjoys, like that everyone likes, and you don't have to like reinvent the wheel every day. Maybe you're burdened by the logistics of running a kitchen or being a homemaker. You're just like exhausted with all the decisions and the like clean up, the messes you have to clean up, the food you have to prep, the groceries you have to shop for. Meals are just becoming another thing that you have to do and get done so that your kids and your family and your husband have food in them. Maybe you're finding yourself getting like irritable when you're in the kitchen and you're prepping food and your kids come up to you and they have simple questions or they want to play with you, and you just find yourself like reacting at them because you're already frazzled trying to concentrate on getting food on the table, when you like you just simply can't have a conversation, or you can't like look at them and breathe and just like not react in maybe a negative way that you're like, you don't want to react the way that you've been reacting while you're in the kitchen and your family and your kids come up to you, if that makes sense. Like, you're just not the kind, loving mother that you want to be in the kitchen. You want to be able to stop and, listen to your kid and help them out, or like help them help you in the kitchen, but you're just like not being that mom. If that's you, I just want to hopefully encourage you that your kitchen doesn't have to be like that. You have the capability, the power, the responsibility. You have the say to cultivate the kitchen that you want in your home. It can feel peaceful, it can feel connecting, it can feel life-giving. Your kitchen can be the heartbeat of your home. And I personally feel like the kitchen is the center of our home. It's where I spend the most time. It's where I enjoy being. It's where I enjoy blessing my family and others that come into my home through the kitchen. I find that it's a practical place to be serving, and I also enjoy it as a mother of 3 littles, as a homemaker, as a friend, as a sister. It's where I like to be. So this peaceful and purposeful kitchen that I have cultivated finally after, trial and error, it's not something that just happened by accident. I've been very intentional with my systems, with my meal prepping, with like my time blocks and what I spend my energy in. So I think it's something that you have to have a plan for and you have to be intentional about. It's not just going to happen naturally unless you are that unicorn mama who just naturally is good at all of these things, and you're just great like that. I've always loved food. I love baking. I love sharing it with people. And even like as a kid, I remember asking my mom to go to the store so that I can buy like the cake in the box or like the cookie in the box that you just like dump in the bowl and like add some water to, or brownies. I remember always going to the store and getting those and then baking it and bringing it to school, or bringing it like outside to my neighborhood to share with the kids. And we would just sit and enjoy this treat that I made, and I loved baking it and I loved sharing it with my friends and then enjoying it together and just like making it a thing. I think I always like associate like food with connection and like this time of like enjoying what we like with food and also like spending quality time together. So I feel like that has been like a priority in my life, especially now as like a mother, a wife. We're in homeschooling communities and church communities. It's definitely something that I gravitate towards is cooking food and sharing it with others. I mean, we also live in Hawaii where food is like a big part of our culture. We gather, we break bread, and we hang out and we fellowship, and it's such a sweet time. I love hosting. I love going out to parties or like just a family if it's over for dinner. I love being intentional with like building these rhythms and making room to host people, making room to go to friends' house and like gather and fellowship, because it's a way that we can really be intentional with like connection. So I just wanted to list a few practical ways in my life where I feel like my kitchen blesses those around us, where I am being intentional with my kitchen and it can actually serve and impact people. Either that's like my family or people that are in our community. Of course, sourdough bread. I love making any types of bread and sharing that with others. We have a homeschool co-op that we started, so I love to make like a special treat for that or a snack and bring that to share, and all the kids are always like excited to see what's the new thing that I made for the week, and us moms like to enjoy it as well. I've also been trying to prioritize making homemade goods for our Sunday school kids in the Sunday school ministry instead of buying like prepackaged snacks, which are convenient and we still use them. But I like to make homemade breads or cookies or crumble bars and give that to the to the Sunday school class. And we've been really enjoying that, and just knowing that like my kids are in there, so knowing that they're getting nutritious homemade food is like it like pleases my mama heart so much. So I love that we're able to be a blessing in that sense. I'm really hoping to like stock our church freezer with like a bunch of homemade Sunday school snacks, because that would be really awesome. A fun fact about me, if you didn't know, I am half Thai, so of course I do a lot of Thai cooking, and my friends and family enjoy all the Thai things that I make. I love cooking Thai. I do cook like a lot of different genres, but my sweet spot is Thai cooking. So I always love bringing like my flavor of Thai cooking to friends and families that we go out and eat with. And I've already mentioned that I love having like hosting things and going to friends' houses, having any excuse to like bond and create memories. So I love being able to plan like themed nights, so either with my family or with friends. If we are doing like a theme night at our house, our friends will just bring a dish to go with that theme. We've done a few like over the years. We've had like a seafood theme where we have poke, which is like raw ahi or sashimi, and we had it with raw oysters, and we had different like ways to eat the raw oysters. That was really good. Oh, we had snow crab with that night. So the 3 different seafoods, and everybody brought a side dish to share, and that was fun because it's just kind of like my friends actually hadn't had raw oysters before, so that was their first time experiencing that, and they really liked it. And then of course everybody like loves seafood. I think we did surf and turf that night. Actually, we had steak too. So I have a bunch of ideas for themes that I can share with you. If you want to know different themed nights for dinner, like let me know in the comments, and I'd love to share some of my ideas. But again, that's just a way to love on people, invite them into your home, connect, get to know people. Kids enjoy coming to each other's houses and playing outside. We have a like yard outside, and the parents can enjoy talking to each other and eating, and everyone's having a good time. Another thing that's dear to my heart is being able to bring a meal to postpartum mamas or mamas that are pregnant, and just, we just sometimes don't have the energy to think about all these good foods to make for our family. So I love being able to bless a mama who's expecting with freezer meals or freezer snacks, bone broth, all of the things. And then of course being able to go have an excuse to see the baby is always nice and fun. So yeah, that's another way that I like to use my kitchen to bless others around me. And I know for me personally, with my first baby, I had a meal train, and that was like, I had never experienced that before, having people show up to my home after having a baby and like bringing meals for, I think it was like 2 weeks straight. after I had my first baby, and I didn't have to cook for 2 weeks, and my husband didn't have to cook. And I thought it was so sweet, and I felt so loved and so blessed and so like cared for, that these people like cared enough to bring me food. And that just freed up space. I had a C-section with my first baby, so having I wasn't able to do all the things, and of course I needed my husband's help, and he didn't have to cook either, so we were able to just like enjoy this blissful time with our first newborn baby. It's actually happened 3 times where we've had people bring meals, and it's just such a blessing. So that's always impacted me, and I try my best to do that when I know that other mamas are expecting. So I really hope that like the different intentional ways that I'm sharing how our kitchen can bless our families and those around us, not just about like going to the grocery store, buying ingredients, cooking food, and getting it on the table so that we can survive. It's really about the heart behind it, the like intentionality behind preparing and running and stewarding a kitchen well, that brings glory to the Lord, that brings others closer to Jesus, that impacts our family for generations to come. I just really I hope that my heart comes across with this message that everyone can make food and get it on the table, right? But there's just so much more space for it to be more than that. It's really, for me, it's about connection, about discipleship, with like training my children how to steward a kitchen well, even in the little years, because they're gonna have families one day. It's about creating memories and getting to know each other, and using like the kitchen table and food and connection to really grow and learn about each other and connect. And of course, just being intentional and like loving people, inviting them to your home, getting to know new people, nurturing the friendships that you already have with families or friends. Because I feel like, especially in today's world, there's so much going on social media, and there can be connection on social media, but I feel like a lot of us, I don't think I'm the only one, are longing to have interaction like face to face with people and families, and like get to know real people in real time, in real life, be able to like touch them and see them and talk to them and have these like deep conversations, and just like going to someone's house and sitting down for a cup of coffee or sitting down for a meal. There's nothing that can replace that. So I really find it a priority in our home to have like real fellowship and conversation over these meals. In my family, we eat dinner tonight every night. It's just what happens. And again, you have to be like intentional with this, because it's easy for this to not happen. But we make it a priority to eat every meal, every dinner together. We're not rushed, we're not distracted, we don't have the TV going, we're not sitting in different areas of the house. We're all together at the kitchen table. We focus on each other. I do my best to have everything prepped and ready to go, so that I'm not scrambling last minute at dinner time, so that we can just sit and be with each other and be present. We talk, we laugh, we check in on each other. We ask the kids like, what's the best thing that happened today? Or what did you learn? What's new? How did you bless someone? How did you help someone? We pray together. We talk about things that we want to do and plan, and adventures we want to go on. Especially because my husband works in the daytime, this is like our one meal to be together and to make the most of it. So we really focus and prioritize this time. And I really see the kitchen as a like holy, sacred place. It's a great tool to disciple our children, to nurture the values that we have as Christians, as kingdom-minded family, to talk about life and to like model different things and talk through different things that are happening in different seasons of life. I love thinking about the fact that like revival can truly start at the kitchen table. Revival can start in your home with your family. And even though sometimes it seems small, maybe like I know the thought can be like, can I really change the world like with my family? But I feel like we really can. And alongside like thinking kingdom minded and legacy minded in our kitchen, like how can our kitchens be legacy minded? Like how can we be intentional with that in mind? But I think when we bring our kids in and make it like fun and make it a priority to like help out and serve in the kitchen, where our kids are cooking alongside of us, they're serving our family. So how practical ways of them doing this is setting up the plates, getting the drinks, cleaning up after we're done with dinner. Maybe we're doing like a fancier dinner and we're decorating with candles or with like flowers or something. They find joy in being a part of setting the table, setting the atmosphere, especially when we are hosting and we have friends coming over. It's just another way that we can bless them. These are things that we practice every day, even if we have friends and family over or not. I feel like these are good skills to have. They're good habits to have for them to carry into their family one day. And then other practical ways of connection after dinner, we can either have a dessert or watch a movie. We don't rarely watch a movie. We like to read books after dinner and just sit or play worship music. These are the really sweet moments where we get to be intentional and be present instead of, running off to our rooms or running off to phones or tablets. We can pour into our family in these times. So all this to say, I've been very intentional with the way that I run my kitchen and how I create systems so that they can bear fruit. None of these things have happened on accident. I was actually never taught any of these things growing up. I had a few people and mothers that I looked up to that I found like little nuggets from, but it wasn't something that was around me all the time growing up. So as I was longing for that when I started my family, these are just things that I learned along the way and created along. So none of these things can happen if my kitchen is feeling chaotic and aimless. Like decision fatigue and like the overwhelm kills the intention that I want to set for my kitchen. So that would be like recipe scrolling, running to the grocery store last minute, stress cooking, like you're just chicken with their head cut off. Peaceful kitchens with systems and like purposeful systems create room for joy and for connection, for like memories, for legacy and kingdom minded conversation. The like logistics of the kitchen are well prepared and handled, and they have a system that leaves room for all the fun stuff, all the space to breathe and to be present. That's what I'm getting at. So I'm really hoping that I can just share these practical systems, practical ways, and like practical rhythm that have worked in my life and in my kitchen for mamas who are maybe longing for peace and purpose and like structure in their kitchen and they kind of just don't know where to start. I hope that what I share here will bless those mamas, because I really find that the kitchen can be such a sweet and special place to serve and like to create and be a life-giving space in your home. Again, the kitchen doesn't have to be chaotic. It can be peaceful, it can be purposeful, it can be life-giving. This is kingdom work, it's legacy work, it's important. Us as mothers and homemakers, we're already cooking every day, hopefully. So why not turn that into a space that we love, that we enjoy, that we find like purpose in? We don't want, if like the things that we're already doing is just like a miserable space to be, like nobody wants to like walk in that every day, right? So why not why not, but like it's biblical. Like we're supposed to steward these things well and use the gifts that we have to impact, right? If any of this resonates, if any of this gets you excited or inspires you to start going and start cultivating the kitchen that you long for, I will be sharing more of my rhythms, recipes, systems, mind shifts, and like real life kitchen hacks, like practical steps to help you get to that kitchen for those of you mamas who are longing for purpose and peace and joy and life-giving rhythms in your kitchen. So I hope you stay for the next video where I will be sharing more of the practical ways to move from chaos to order in your kitchen. If you did like any of these focuses or ways that I share that I am intentional in my kitchen, let me know down in the comments below what maybe resonated with you or what inspired you to maybe create in your own kitchen. I would love to know. So thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.